By now, you have probably heard about the story of Wack 100 having a tape of Nipsey Hussle engaging in suspect behavior and actions. A lot of people doubt that Wack 100 is telling the truth, but I believe him, and here is why. You see, the tape that he has over Nipsey Hussle allegedly, this is common practice in the industry. This is what every truther channel, quote unquote, has been talking about for years. The fact that these celebrities are put in compromising positions and then they are filmed, so that could be used to blackmail them, extort them, or to just put them in control. Notice how all this talk about the tape came out after Nipsey Hussle is not here anymore. Why is that? Well, because when he was alive, he was being extorted by using this tape. People were profiting off of him, but now that he's gone, who is going to extort who based on this tape? Nipsey's not here, so now they're trying to find other ways to monetize it. When I say they, I mean Wack 100 and people like him. He's just still a low-level extortionist in the industry. This stuff is done on many levels. The higher you go, there are levels to this stuff. It gets more sophisticated, like that story that I can't talk about, but you know that story where all these rich people went to a certain place and they were put in compromising position. You know what I'm talking about, and there are tapes of them as well, allegedly. You see, as I have been saying and as other people have been saying for years, once you become powerful, rich, famous, or you just have some sort of a control, you are not a free man anymore. You will be controlled in one way or the other. This is just another example of the whole blackmailing stuff that goes on in the music industry and Hollywood. All those stories that you hear about the Eyes Wide Shut party, and Cat Williams talked about it, and many others have talked about it. There's a whole bloody movie about it where certain scenes have been cut out because it exposed too much. What's the point of all this? You think they're just doing that for their entertainment or the pleasure of these fellow celebrities? No, that's what the celebrities initially think until they realize that, oh shit, I have been filmed. Now these people can ruin my life. They can ruin my image. So if you go around acting like a gangster and someone has a tape of you engaging with men, I'm not saying Nipsey Hussle did this, but I'm saying other rappers that act gangster, most of them are suspect. They all have films on them, especially the ones that are really in control of the industry, the ones that never seem to do any wrong or say anything wrong that could be considered controversial. They are in the control. In the midst of all these stories of Nipsey Hussle and Wack 100, a story came out as well regarding Charlemagne, that he was getting extorted by Taxstone. Yes. So the point here is that he was being extorted back in his early days. When he got punched in the head by those guys that just pulled up on him. There's a video of it. Allegedly around that time he was getting extorted by Taxstone. But now that he has ascended in his position in the industry, he's still being extorted. However, the extortion is from different people, is more sophisticated, is more powerful people. So it depends on your fame. As soon as you become famous, rich, whatever, you become a target. All the way from the hood rats, and depending on your position, you become targets of, in some cases, the whole governments. Yes, they have to put you in control. You see, if this tape exists, it had a bigger purpose than just people like Wack 100 using it to gain clout. The purpose of this was to get Nipsey Hussle to stop talking so much. He was dropping some nuggets of truth here and there, especially with the whole Dr. Sebi thing. He said he was going to make a movie about him and things of that nature. So they realized that this guy might actually do harm to the whole infrastructure of the system. I'm not saying he was that powerful, however, he was still a celebrity, and a celebrity going towards a direction of a truth that goes against the narrative of the mainstream, that's dangerous, no matter how big or small you actually are. So I believe if it exists, the tape, this was going to be its purpose, to at some point get Nipsey Hussle to stop. They'll probably just go up to him and say, look, if you don't stop with all this truther shit, we're gonna release your tape with this man. What are you gonna do now? And of course Nipsey Hussle would say, okay, I'll back off. He doesn't want to ruin his reputation. If this exists, I tend to believe it probably does exist, because this stuff happens in the industry. Everyone knows this at this point. How many big stories do you have to hear about this to know, okay, extortion happens, these weird parties happen, intergender activities happen. All this stuff is normal in the music industry and in the entertainment industry. The reason I made this video is because everyone is talking about the general story. However, we have to start looking at the bigger picture, right? The bigger picture is this. This stuff happens in the whole industry. It's almost like a part of it. All these gatekeepers, what do you think they do, these industry gatekeepers? They do this type of petty bullshit. They extort people that are talented and that are rising, so earlier on they put a hook on them, so in case they really blow up, because nowadays anything can happen, your whole career can change in a matter of days. So in case that happens, they'll just have their hooks on them already, so they could be controlled. Yeah. And regarding Wack 100, I've already said since the beginning, this guy is an agent of chaos of the highest order. You know what I believe his overall agenda is? Not overall, but one of his main agendas. He's trying to reignite that whole West Coast and East Coast war or beef, because in the past 10 years or so, or maybe even longer, that shit had quieted down. So they're trying to rise that. He's also trying to incite inter-gang violence inside the West Coast as well. He's an agent of chaos. That's the best way to describe him. And also during his whole beef with Hassan Campbell, he mentioned that he's got people at YouTube that he can use to delete Hassan's channel. So what that tells me is that there are celebrities that actually do this stuff. I'm starting to think that these celebrities just have normal lives just like us, and the rest 10% that we see is just marketing. That's it. These people go on YouTube just like us, and they see videos about themselves, especially the videos that get striked and you don't get to appeal them. I believe these are the strikes that have been ordered. They have been ordered personally by someone of power, and they've told YouTube, take this shit off. And now they have deals with YouTube, these music labels, they have deals. So this stuff is crazy. All these celebrities, they're snitches, man. And I can't believe Wack 100 pulled up such a weak move by saying, I'm gonna get his channel, you know, deleted. Aren't you supposed to be a big time extortionist, a gangster? He's just one of these gatekeepers that we keep hearing about. Yes, that's exactly what he is. And all these people at his level, a bit higher, the ones that have connections with all these music labels and shit like that, they're all a part of the system that we call the elite. And I'm sure he's engaged in this man-on-man behavior as well. I just can't think that he hasn't. If he's got all these connections, he's chilling with Elon Musk and shit like that. So yes, they're all just as bad as each other. Show me one guy that's not involved with this shit that's actually famous. I'm out. Peace.